Sean here with Castle's Performance Wiring and Fab. Wanted to talk about a little issue I was having with my Jayco motorhome. It is based off of a 2007 Kodiak C-5500, and I had a donor truck, a 2005 Kodiak crew cab with the LLY, which was four-wheel drive. So what I did is I made the motorhome four-wheel drive. Easy swap. I mean, literally took about 4 hours to change the axles and the suspension and everything over one to the other. Made the four-wheel drive truck two-wheel drive. Basically put the axles and everything into the motorhome. Took a little bit more time to get the transfer case in place. Had to make a pattern off the old truck and then basically mag drill 36 holes to capture the transfer case. All that worked out fine. Drive shafts, everything went right into place. Bitchin'. Kicker was the electronics to get the encoder motor to work. So I wound up taking all the stuff, the switch, the encoder box, the plug, and everything to make it work. And no matter what I did, I read form after form. I got out the electric diagram for the vehicle, got out the multimeter, tested everything, and I just could not get that encoder motor to move, no matter what I did. I got the lights on the Chingus to light up, but I couldn't get it to work right, and I finally threw in the towel and went a different route. So the other thing I tried was I went online and I looked for one of these. Unfortunately, that transfer case has several different bolt holes. This will work on your Ford, Dodge, and Chevy pickup, but it will not work on the divorced transfer case. Even though it's exact same transfer case with all the same parts, this will not bolt to the transfer case. Here's your transfer case encoder motor pattern. I mean, it's substantially different. So that kit came with one of these alarms that hooks onto the out input shaft, whatever you want to call it, for the gear selector, and that worked. That lined up, everything worked fine, just the cover. And then I was like, well, fuck, now I gotta run a cable to make this thing work, and really wasn't into it. So had this made and a couple other things. This would, you know, basically represents the output of the transfer case, hooks on there, and I made a switch. And you can do this with any 6-prong momentary switch, a 3-prong momentary switch with 2 relays wired up in a 5-wire system, or I've gotten a lot of help on the motorhome build from Baja Designs and 4x4 S-Pod, and so I used a 5-wire relay system in conjunction with the S-Pod, and I was able to get the transfer case encoder motor to shift through all the gears, basically finding a negative trigger. So when you put the transmission in neutral, it activates the relays, and then I can switch the relays from the 4x4 S-Pod digital controller that I have. So that's just an introduction to what we got going on. I'll show you exactly what I did and how it worked, and you guys want one, hit me up and I'll build a little kit for you if you're having trouble. If anyone wants this, hit me up. I know that there's no way you're gonna find this thing aftermarket at this point, so all right. So here's the beginning of my 4-wheel drive indicator for the Kodiak. I converted mine to 4-wheel drive, but I still wanted to use the electric shift. So This is the indicator for it. So here's my four-wheel drive indicator. Bolt it onto the transfer case tomorrow and show you guys, but basically a sweeper arm will make contact with these spring-loaded screws here, and that'll trigger a light on the dashboard telling me what position the transfer case is in, and then I will show you how I wired it all up. Okay, just a little video here of how I did this. So you can use a 3-prong toggle switch momentary with 2 relays and a 5-wire system. You can use a 6-prong momentary with no relays if you wanted to, or how I did this is Baja Designs and 4x4 S-Pod kicked down a lot of parts for this build. So right now I'm controlling the transfer case off of that. I got this little thing here on the dash, and you go to transfer case up, you just hit the button, and there you go. You're in 4-wheel drive high. Now you're in 2-wheel drive. Hit it again, neutral, 4-wheel drive low, back the other way. And there we are, we're in 2-wheel drive. So I'll show you what we got going on down below. It's got to be in neutral for this to work, because it throws a ground signal to the relays so you can't activate it while you're in gear. I'm outside the motorhome here. It is based off of Kodiak, that's why I'm doing this. And you come down here, and this is what I've come up with, is I machined a block of nylon. It's got springs in it. These stainless springs are in here with machine screws, and I got a stainless throw arm that's hooked to the transfer case. So when I energize the encoder motor, it'll swing this arm and make contact with the screws when it's in the position that it needs to be in. And that's how I know where I'm at with the transfer case. I couldn't find a actual manual kit for this because they're all meant for the smaller attached transfer cases, not the S or the 273 divorced one like this one here. So I'll get some more information together for y'all.